Food Fridays on Fox 24 News Now. Sponsored by U.S. Food Chef Store. Great food, wholesale prices.
A new restaurant has emerged in Charleston's Cannonboro-Elliottboro neighborhood. It's called Chasing Sage, and they'll have you chasing unique menus ranging from Korean barbecue to Middle Eastern fare and beyond, with an engaging and creative concept in this new age of dining. Well, on this week's Food Friday, we're happy to be joined by Cindy Edward, owner of Chasing Sage, and I also hear you're a farmer.
Yes, I am learning how to be a farmer. That's my experience doing that, but it's been about 2 years and I've learned a ton and made a lot of mistakes and learned from them, and it's been great. It's been super fun.
I think you're speaking the language of a lot of people who want to get their hands down in the dirt and to watch something grow. Speaking of which, this being a brand new restaurant, which was supposed to open in the spring, but unfortunately because of COVID, everything has been pushed back. Want to talk a little bit about the concept of Chasing Sage and this exciting new venture for you.
Totally. So Chasing Sage as a concept is very small plate driven. We're very vegetable forward. It's a very it's a restaurant built out of the love of what we love to cook. We are not vegetarian by any means, but we definitely love seasonality and what that can do for all kinds of inspiration. We really try to let our veggies and our ingredients speak for themselves, which is one of the reasons we're hoping to grow a lot of what we cook, as long as I can make that happen.
People love that concept of farm to table and to actually know where their food is coming from. Is this your first restaurant, or have you had experience opening restaurants in the past?
I have opened restaurants, but this is the first one that I've actually owned, and that's the same for Walter, my husband, who's also the chef. He has opened many a restaurant, as have Forrest, but this is the first one we've all owned.
Well, we'll be excited. It'll be exciting to talk to him coming up in just a little bit. But let's talk about the concept of Chasing Sage. Right now, are you offering dine-in service?
We are not. We are doing curbside, contactless pickup only. We were slotted to open the week that COVID shut everything down, and we were scrambling, trying to figure out what to do. You know, we definitely took a couple of weeks to lick our wounds. It was a pretty heartbreaking loss, and we had fully been hiring, so we had to worry about the loss of the restaurant, our own income, and then also worry about what we were going to do to try to help our staff that we had just hired like the week before.
Oh, so God, that's the worst for a restaurateur. I mean, everything rides on people being able to come out and to visit and to sit in, and so I can imagine how frustrating that must have been. But you certainly pivoted in these times, and you created a unique concept of the pop-up. So let's talk a little bit more about these menus that you've got coming up.
So our whole pop-up series is kind of inspired by what we've all been cooking during this quarantine that we're kind of craving, that you can't find a lot of in Charleston. And we created a very unique situation where the three owners and our GM, we all kind of quarantined together because we knew we were going to have to continue to work together and figure this out. And so I just recently had a birthday, and Forrest came over and surprised me with Korean barbecue, and we all had such a great time. And we were like, okay, this is going to be the first pop-up. This is what we love. And we were like, what else are we cooking? And they sat down for 5 minutes and had like 30 different cuisines already.
Goodness.
They feed off each other so well. And after this week of Korean barbecue, we're going to go into French, and then I believe we're doing Moroccan after that. So we're just going to go all over the globe and cook what we want to be eating right now.
Well, talk about being flexible. My goodness. So flexible in these times, and flexible as far as the menu goes. So it allows people to sample these different cultures, and I think it's a treat for a lot of us who can't travel, who can't go anywhere. So you travel just by ordering a meal at your restaurant. How long do these pop-up menus last?
They're generally all about 2 weeks. If there's one that's like really popular, we may bring it back in the future for like a week or something like that. But mostly we can expect 2 weeks per.
Okay, and so people can place their orders online. You've got curbside pickup. Do you have any estimate as to when you're going to be opening your doors for dine-in?
When it's safe, and I don't know what that looks like. You know, it may not be until a vaccine Our whole concept, or part of our whole concept, is we want people to be able to come into our dining room and have a dining experience with us. Our chefs are actually in the dining room; they're not in the kitchen, so they're part of the experience. And that is not a concept that will work during these times, unfortunately.
Oh, goodness. Well, we will be looking forward to that. In the meantime, though, your husband is standing by, as well as another one of your chefs to join us with one of the items that's going to be featured on the most recent menu. So we're looking forward to that. Thank you so much, Cindy. We'll be back after this. Welcome back. Well, we are back in the kitchen at Chasing Sage, and we are joined by chefs Walter Edward and Forrest Brunton. And it's good to see you, gentlemen.
How you doing?
Doing great. I'm so glad that you're in the kitchen. Chasing Sage is now open, and you're ready to prepare food for some very starving customers looking for something interesting to eat these days. So I want to ask, what are you going to be preparing for us today?
These are going to be Korean japchae noodles. It is a sweet potato noodle with vegetables. It's very traditional. Sometimes it's served just as a side, but we do ours as an entree, so we have lots of different vegetables that go in it. It's really hearty, nice vegetable dish.
It sounds healthy too. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and just dive right in and get started.
So we're going to go ahead and start on high heat. At home, you probably want to let it heat for a minute, but we have real hot burners. So we're just going to go right ahead. Start off with some canola oil, put some garlic in, stir that around just until it sizzles. Then we're going to have white green onion, just the white parts. Red peppers, yellow onions, carrots, and shiitake mushrooms. Forrest mentioned about the white part of the scallions. We have a thing that we like to do, especially with high heat wok dishes, where we'll cut a whole scallion. And we like to start with the white part in at the beginning and finish with the green part right at the end. So you get a little bit of that nice deep cooked onion flavor and a little bit of that nice fresh bite of a raw scallion.
So being the pop-up concept, you're going to be running this menu through August 15th, and then the next menu you're going to be featuring is from where?
It's from France. It's actually, we're calling it So You Think You Can France. Yeah.
That's very clever. What do you think you're going to feature on that menu?
Oh, man, it's going to be amazing. We're going to be doing house-made charcuterie every day. The last few days, we've been perfecting our baguette recipes. We're going to be baking a ton of bread, which both me and Forrest really love to do. We're going to be featuring some beautiful French cheeses. We're going to be doing whole roasted chicken, a really gorgeous French onion soup, real classic French dishes. And we're also going to be doing Robuchon potatoes, which are the creamiest, richest potatoes you'll ever have. Yeah. And then we're also going to be doing picnic baskets all day long.
And what is the secret to creamy potatoes? Let me just ask that.
So, mostly it's a lot of butter.
A lot of butter. We love butter here. We love butter. But besides Korean, French, you're going to have Moroccan, Israeli, Middle Eastern cuisine. So you are going to be taking a trip around the world with your menus. And so people can check in with you on social media to see what the next menu is going to be.
Absolutely. Yes. Instagram and Facebook, or check out our website, www.chasingsagerestaurant.com. We'll have little stories about why we picked the food that we're doing, about the upcoming menus, or the menus we're doing now. We'll have all kinds of great information. We're also going to be doing featured cocktails and wines and beers and some non-alcoholic beverages that change every single menu. For the Korean menu, we made our own local peach-flavored soju. We've been having a little shot of soju at the end of every night as a way to celebrate our new changed opening.
And we will celebrate. Cheers. I'll cheers with my coffee. Hopefully I can come and try some of that. So you've completed the dish. Let's take a look at it.
Oh, japchae noodles.
Oh, that looks delicious. Fantastic. Gentlemen, I want to thank you so much for sharing all of that with us. And of course, we're going to put all of your information out on our social media platforms. Congratulations again on this new venture and best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Cheers. We're back after this.
Food Fridays on Fox 24 News Now. Sponsored by U.S. Food Chef Store. Great food, wholesale prices.